If the wife of the President of the United States is the First Lady of this country, then the President's eldest daughter should be able to be hailed as the First Lady, too. Ivanka Trump was born on October 30, 1981, and is the daughter of former U.S. President Donald Trump and his first wife, a world supermodel, a New York real estate magnate, vice president of the Trump Group, for 2 consecutive years on the Forbes magazine list of the world's top 10 richest women. July 24, 2018. Ivanka announced the closure of her own clothing brand, that she will concentrate on politics in the future. The woman who combines beauty, wealth, and power has been described as the most powerful against the first daughter. She is also the most controversial first daughter. What's her life like in this issue? We'll talk about the life behind this legendary woman. Looking back at all the American first daughters, whether it's the twin daughters of Mr. and Mrs. Bush, Barbara and Jenner, or Obama's daughter, Maria, who was known as the first woman at the age of 10. Their lives have been flat and spacious. They don't get too much exposure because of their fathers. They'll follow the route of the first daughter. They'll go to the best schools, live in the most expensive houses, and then marry the man of their choice, get married, and have children. And then, as the president's father leaves office, they drown in the crowd. In contrast, Ivanka, by contrast, is one of the most visible, most highly visible first daughter. Born on October 30, 1981, Ivanka Trump, the daughter of American real estate kingpin and former President Donald Trump, Ivanka inherited both Mom Ivana's beauty and the sole heir to Daddy Trump's vast fortune. But Ivanka was never a hothouse flower. He grew up working for pocket money. His parents only provided enough for his living expenses and education. The Trumps were surprisingly consistent in teaching their children about money. They asked Ivanka to forget about being a rich girl, to work hard for a living like a normal kid. The mantra is that it's a shame to get something for nothing. Trump says we give him enough to live on, but she'll never be allowed to run wild. His mother, Ivana, pays for his tuition. Everything else he has to pay for out of his own pocket. If he wants more money, he has to support himself. Ivanka later quipped in an interview, "I had to earn money. I had to earn money, because apart from tuition, I had to pay for everything else. Mom even made me pay the phone bill." So even though Ivanka received her first diamond from her father, Donald Trump, at the age of 7, Ivanka didn't rejoice in the fact that she got her first diamond from her father, Donald Trump, at the age of 7, but instead, she became more convinced that life is what you make it. Instead, she became more convinced that life is what you make of it. In this kind of upbringing, he forgot the sense of superiority. She's an independent problem solver. He was able to get what he wanted on his own. Ivanka's life as a child was quite easy. Until that year. At the age of 10, Ivanka's life changed drastically. Trump's extramarital affair led to his wife Ivana's dissatisfaction and divorced Trump. The divorce battle between her parents traumatized 9-year-old Ivanka. At the time, Ivanka was surrounded by gossip magazines filled with embarrassing stories about them. The paparazzi, of course, didn't leave Ivanka alone. They were right in front of Ivanka's school. They were right in front of Ivanka's school, interviewing her at gunpoint. Or they pressed Ivanka, trying to get some breaking news out of the kid. Then Trump married his second wife. Unlike his brothers, Ivanka didn't become withdrawn and depraved. He was rather cold to his stepmother. But he called Trump every day. Ivanka later recalled those times by saying that, "In a strange way, my parents' divorce brought me closer to them. It brought me closer to them. And it brought me closer to my brothers. Divorce is never a good thing. But when your parents get divorced, you feel like family is precious." At the age of 16, with her tall body, good looks, and hard work, Ivanka landed a part-time modeling job with Elite Model Management. Elite Model Management is an experienced modeling agency. With a long list of supermodels, including Paulina Ryskova and Linda Evangelista, Ivanka was able to get a part-time job with Elite Model Management. Under the agency's umbrella, Ivanka's modeling career is going well. Her fresh look appeared on the inside of famous fashion magazines and glamour magazines. 1 year later, Ivanka hosted the American Beauty Pageant. Somewhat comically, the event was organized by none other than Ivanka's father, Donald Trump. It was Ivanka's father, Donald Trump. As the father of a billionaire, he doesn't really approve of his daughter's modeling career. Trump said in an interview that his daughter would only get good grades, and she gets permission from her boarding school to get modeling gigs. After graduating from high school, Ivanka became bored with modeling, describing many models as mean, cunning and vicious girls. She then transferred to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, graduating magna cum laude with a bachelor's degree in economics in 2004. This schooling shenanigans are basically the same as his dad's, except that his cousin Mary broke the news that Trump himself didn't get into Penn on his own, but rather hired a proctor to take the test. In any case, Ivanka, as an adult, Ivanka had the opportunity to spread her wings, and he chose to do so with the Trump Group. Ivanka has been making a name for herself in business ever since. In 2007, Ivanka launched her eponymous jewelry line, the Ivanka Trump Jewelry Collection, and opened her jewelry store on Madison Avenue in the heart of Manhattan, New York. August 2010. Ivanka announced a partnership with Mark Fisher Associates to Ivanka Trump Shoe Collection. She also teams up with the Medley handbag and accessories mogul to launch the Ivanka Trump Handbag Collection. September 2011. Ivanka launches a ready-to-wear collection with Flistred Limited. Ivanka went to the negotiating table dressed as usual. He felt the other side was biased. He felt that they would be ill-prepared. That's what gave him the edge in the negotiations. He started his own label. It was his only chance to prove himself outside of his family's reputation. After researching the market, he found that men, not women, were buying jewelry. He was convinced that the purchasing power of the new generation of women was only increasing. So he designed his jewelry according to women's ideas, preferences, and aesthetics. He positioned his brand as a high-quality, affordable mid-range product. It's been very well received in the United States. Ivanka has gone from supermodel to business elite. Ivanka's gone from supermodel to businesswoman, and she's done a pretty good job of it. Since then, the first chapter of the Princess and Prince story script has been turned over. In 2007, Ivanka and Jared met at a luncheon to discuss a business partnership. They spoke for only a few minutes and became very fond of each other. Jared was a New Jersey real estate tycoon. Jared is the son of New Jersey real estate tycoon Charles Kushner. The son of Charles Kushner, a New Jersey real estate mogul, and a member of the newspaper industry's elite. In addition to helping manage his father's vast real estate empire. In 2006, he bought New York's elite newspaper, the New York Observer California, for $10 million. He has become a prominent publisher in New York City. After meeting, they both fell in love with each other. They began dating. Ivanka once described her first date with Jared as the best contract we ever made. Despite their love for each other, different religious beliefs stood in the way of the two young men. Because, the husband was a devout Jewish believer. For the sake of love, Ivanka followed her husband into Judaism. In 2009, the grand wedding took place at the Trump National Golf Club in New Jersey, USA. The main event of the day was the 27-year-old Ivanka tying the knot with Jared, a celebrity son a year older. Entering into matrimony in front of 500 guests. After the wedding, Ivanka changed his old man's demeanor. There was no scandal. I've never seen any photos of her in the sex world. Even though there are a lot of rich people around her who are living a life of luxury. She has been living a full-time disciplined life. Ivanka's identity and figure, education, and experience for us the general public. Ivanka's status, figure, education, and experience are just for us, the general public, to look at. Now she's stepping up to the plate. Voice for professional women. In 2019 at the G20 Osaka Summit, women leaders are becoming fewer and farther between. According to Japan's Kyodo News Agency. At the just concluded special event on women's rights at the G20 chapter in Osaka, Japan, only 2 female leaders were present. British Prime Minister Theresa May. German Chancellor Angela Merkel. However, at the G20 summit, there was one woman who made a big splash. She's always in the center of the picture. That's America's first daughter, Ivanka. The first daughter of the United States, Ivanka, is sitting between the leaders of the world's most powerful countries and the leaders of the world's most powerful nations. She's a natural talker. It's a very nice scene. In fact, this is not the first time Ivanka has been in the leader's C-suite. 2 years ago, he had tweeted a photo of himself. Of him sitting between President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. His intention was to convey to the public that women's voices matter. To show that he was standing up for women. For women's rights. I.e., a feminist. Not only that, but after Ivanka arrived in Japan on a plane, Ivanka changed her outfit every time she was exposed to the media. She changed her outfit 4 times in a row. She's trying to show that women are beautiful and bold in the political arena. As a former model, with a head of blonde hair and a 5 feet 8 inches tall figure, Ivanka was undoubtedly the prettiest presence on Trump's Asia tour. Trump's attention and defense of his daughter is globally recognized. In the face of the crowd's skepticism about Ivanka's ability to manage politics, Trump has come out in solidarity with his daughter on more than one occasion. My daughter Ivanka has just arrived in South Korea, Trump said in front of the cameras. We don't have a better or smarter person to represent our country. And Ivanka, as her father, Donald Trump, runs for president, has been her father's strongest right-hand man. Back in 2016, when Trump was on the campaign trail, Ivanka was by Trump's side as a campaign advisor, who had a completely different persona than his father. Ivanka's nicer face, sexy body values, and a humble and reasonable persona. Ivanka has made a favorable impression on the American citizenry. And it's his presence has become a moderator to moderating Trump's ranting and raving, oily and unreliable public election image. In the eyes of many in the media, Ivanka's presence helped her father Trump garner more support from the left when he entered the race. Trump once told the press, "If Ivanka wasn't my daughter, I would, Although, it sounds a little strange. But in light of Trump's saber-rattling attitude toward the world, it's not hard to see how much love for his daughter was hidden in his words. Trump in his re-election campaign in 2020. Ivanka remains firmly on her father's side. His fundraisers are still the highlight of the campaign. But this time around, Ivanka won't be able to be Trump's victory goddess. Trump is still giving speeches of righteous indignation. Even under his great feat, thousands of U.S. citizens have fallen to the epidemic. Maybe he's talking quite a bit about how he's the only president who can make America great again. But we can't wait for that chance to seal the deal. Ivanka, along with Trump's career, the political career also came to an end.